Hey everyone, and welcome to my first video tutorial. Yes, it happened. My name is Nick and this is Marshlands. I'll be honest with you right from the start, this video did not go exactly as I planned. There were mistakes, technical issues, and a few moments where things went completely wrong. But instead of hiding all that, I decided to keep it real with y'all and share the process as it actually happened. So let's jump in, learn together, and hopefully I avoid some of the mistakes I made along the way.
First thing we are going to do is prime our model black. Then, with a mix of 1 to 1 to 1, we are gonna use dark rust, dark fleshstone, and grey brown, and cover the whole surface of the cloth. Then we are just gonna add a full part of dark fleshstone and grey brown to our previous mix and cover 90% of the surfaces, focusing on the light reflections. Then we are proceeding by adding small parts of desert yellow, going further and further towards the light reflections until we reach pure desert yellow. For the final highlight, we are adding a little bit of pale sand and we are focusing only to the center of the light reflections. Now for the green parts. We are gonna use a mix of half part of dark sea blue, 1 part of dark green, and half part of olive green. This is going to be our base coat that we are gonna apply to all the green parts. Next, we're gonna apply to our base coat another part of olive green, and then we're gonna focus more on the light reflections. At this step, we are gonna do scratches and dots to simulate a more weathered armor plate. Next, we're gonna put 1 part more of olive green, going further and further towards the light reflections. And then we're gonna keep adding olive green until we reach a pure olive green. Finally, we're gonna add small parts of ice yellow to our previous mix, focusing on the highest light reflections. And then we're gonna keep adding ice yellow until we reach pure ice yellow. Then for the straps, I used a mix of dark rust and parasite brown and half part of cork and base coated the entire surface. Then I put one part of cork to the previous mix, and as with the rest of the clothes, I put it towards the light reflections, covering again 90% of the surface. Then I proceeded by adding small parts of elf flesh tone until I reached pure elf flesh tone. And then for the final highlights, I used basic skin tone. One thing I didn't show was how I painted black the weapons and the leather boots. That's just a mix of black gray and a little bit of ice yellow for the highlights. For the yellow lines, I decided to put dark flesh tone mixed with parasite brown. Then on top of that, I used moon yellow. And for the final highlights, I used ice yellow. For the face, I used charred brown mixed with burnt red and added half part of tan. Then I used another half part of tan going towards the light reflections. To highlight it, I added sunny skin tone until I reach pure sunny skin tone. And then for the final part, for the final highlight, I added basic skin tone. And after that, I used the recipe for non-metallic metal silver. The recipe is dark sea blue, intermediate green, pastel green, and also ivory. Now for the base, I used a thick coat of glue on the base. Then I dipped it on sand that I gathered from the beach. You should also put it in the oven and sterilize it for a few minutes. Then after it dried, I diluted my glue with a little bit of water and I put it as a wash on top of my already dried up sand. And later, with a mix of pigments, rust and brown iron to make the base look more dirty, and give this powdery texture. Then I just added a few grass tufts. And this is the final result. I know I didn't show you everything in this video, but there were like so many technical issues and it took so much work just to release it. I promise next time it's gonna be a lot cleaner. So thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, guys.